Ball. All right, we got Thomas. Hannah's out of town, so Thomas is joining the studio today. Hannah, our lovely, she does everything for us. She's getting married again.
Kind of how you guys do it, right?
To the same guy.
Just like us.
Good for her. I like having two weddings. It's kind of the new thing.
So she's
like, some of the new age people, it swings more aggressive. Like they'll have multiple weddings to several people, different genders, and I feel like the conservatives are like, we'll show you. I'll get married again to the same straight person. That's what we and Katie did. That's why we did it, not because of COVID. We got a great episode for y'all today. More of the Shelter Kids series. We got some great, maybe a new segment alert, why people need to stop, and much more. So sit back, relax, subscribe, roll music.
Correct opinions. Correct opinions.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's two things you wish you had more of?
Ooh, corn dogs and time.
Well, you're in luck for one of those.
Oh, which one?
Time.
Yes.
Actually, you can't have more of it. So corn dog, we'll get you corn dog after. But what is good about time is that you should be able to, you need to learn how to maximize it, how to prioritize what you like doing with your time.
It could feel like I have more time.
Right.
We can't create it.
And therapy can help you find what matters to you so you can do more of it with the time you have. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. I've done therapy before. It did help me prioritize, figure out what was important to me. BetterHelp is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/correct for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/correct. Katie, if you're going in the fridge, can you go down the stairs, grab a fridge, open up a Liquid Death, and chug it?
Grab a fridge.
Grab a fridge. Yeah, chug it. And it's not beer. I know you're pregnant. It's water.
Wait, I could kind of hear the chugging sounds.
Oh my God. Okay. Liquid Death is a healthy beverage brand. And I'm sure it looks crazy. Like, what is it? Beer? No. It's delicious water. They also have sparkling waters, flavored ice. They have iced teas, you name it. Liquid Death will brutally murder your thirst, and their infinitely recyclable cans are helping to bring death to single-use plastic bottles. And they donate a portion of profits from every can sold to help kill plastic pollution. So get free shipping of Liquid Death's mountain water, flavored sparkling, and iced tea 8-packs with Amazon Prime, or grab a can or a case at your local 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, or on Instacart, which Katie loves Instacart, right?
Oh, I love Instacart.
Yeah. She's never going to a grocery store again. That's liquiddeath.com/Trey. Go check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. That's liquiddeath.com/Trey, liquiddeath.com/Trey.
When I started being an influencer, do you think I was out here thinking I was going to sell stuff? No, I was just trying to be a little funny boy. But now look, we got a podcast, all this. I even have my own website with merch, store.treyking.com, and it's powered by Shopify. And it is because it's so easy to use. I'm the type of guy who was like, I don't know, what's all this? I checked out Shopify. Yeah, you heard that. It's the sound of a new sale. It's literally that easy. If you have e-commerce of any stage, small company, huge company, you can utilize Shopify. It helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And you sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Yeah, AI, you heard it. It's taking over, people. It can help you run your business online. So go check them out. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, ever heard of them, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. So go get started today. We have an offer for you guys, of course, for the Recties. Go sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/correctopinions, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/correctopinions right now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/correctopinions.
Yo, Thomas, back in my day, we're the last generation to know no internet and the experience of the internet. And
like
how much?
Yeah, we were analog and digital.
And it's gonna suck to start. I've already started to feel old. Like when we have babysitters fresh out of college come over, and I learned this. Rachel, you and Katie, our wives, were talking about how the babysitting glory days. It was great. We were like,
that was a funny conversation.
And just in front of me, they were both like, meeting the dad was the worst. I hated it. I hated talking to the dad, being around the dad, and it's in my head. We have this nice young lady who watches him.
And he called her the wrong name.
Right.
What a dad move.
That is so dad.
Dude. I called her, I mean, it's close. Addie, I called her Abby. And then Katie, she did the classic mom move. She's like, it's Addie. And I was like, yeah, sorry, I'm working all day. Gotta work.
To me, it's almost worse that it's that close. Like it almost would be better if it was like a completely different name.
And like maybe you were thinking about a different woman.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, wrong person.
I've never been, dude, I feel like I grew up around girls, even trying to date girls. I never get too nervous. I've never been more nervous talking to a girl in my life than our current babysitter. Well, I'm like, so what do you have a good week? You know, I've just stopped talking to her. I'm like, I freeze up. I just know I sound
You were
lame, like
very
an old
normal
guy.
with all of our babysitters before now, but this has really gotten in your head.
Well, now I know the truth. They're probably like, oh, dude, this creepy, he's so old. And
like, my mom loves him. That's weird. I don't even know who this guy is. Why is my mom freaking out that I'm going over here? Yeah, Rachel, and you were talking about, like, you know, you're always told when you babysit, like, hey, you know, make yourself at home. And what were you guys said you would make yourselves at home, but then you would hide the evidence.
Oh,
That's a part of babysitting.
They'd be like, eat whatever you want. But then, like, you'd kind of be like, but I don't want them to know how much I ate of what they had. And so you would, like, hide the evidence a little bit. You know, like, if you put some wrappers in the trash, you'd kind of, like, put some paper towels on top.
hide the, you didn't want them to know you just plowed through a bag of nacho Doritos.
Yeah, I can honestly believe, though, I don't think babysitters are eating anything out of our house.
Yeah, you keep pretty healthy in there.
They probably finally checked the fridge and pantry, and they're like, goodness gracious.
Yeah,
we don't have anything.
Nothing, yeah.
So we thought we'd do a little fun game where it's like, what are the things you're going to tell your kids back in my day? Back in my day, Thomas, we had a phone connected to land by a cord. We called it a landline.
There was a line.
And you couldn't use it at the same time as your internet.
Or anyone else in the house.
Yeah. Oh, if you picked it up. Wow, Thomas, you could pick up the phone and listen in.
If you were just quiet, if you knew exactly how to do it, and you could listen in.
And it was so hard. You'd always be like, Trey, I hear you on the.
I can hear you breathing.
We had a buddy who, when we'd be playing online video games, we were able to have that, but it was still, there was some overlap with certain households where you couldn't do both. So if he was beating you in the video game, you just call his home phone. He is timed out, connection timed out. He'd be like, stop.
You like forced him to rage quit.
And you just hear the phone ringing and you hear him start screaming, Mom, don't answer, don't answer. Done for.
I think another thing with phones, this might be something we tell our grandkids. I don't know how the future's looking, but even when we got cell phones, they used to die. Like everything we had, it would die. Like I feel like, I don't know if it's solar or just big batteries, but we're going to find a way where like nothing really dies.
Everything died earlier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everything. Yeah, people used to be less than 100, and your phones would die every day. I can't wait for those two things to change.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
God willing.
My new phone is like messed up because I have a brand new iPhone, and it gets close to dying every single day.
Boomer Katie alert.
Do not call me that. You're the person who was like, "Oh, Abby."
No, that's her BK is what I call her.
No.
If you ever hear me say that. What is one? You had a bad one recently. What was it?
I don't know.
Just like the thermostat. Does Rachel touch the thermostats in your house?
No.
It's been, she's, we have our own duties in her defense, but I just know when I'm out of town, there's gonna be heat up here, AC down here. There might be a tornado on the main floor. Like, okay. Hey,
I don't see a ball, Thomas.
Where's the ball? You're embarrassing us. Is it the doorknob? What is he?
The doorknob, I think.
The doorknob looks like a sphere. They used to give us the internet, just no restrictions. They just say, here's the laptop.
Here's the internet.
I did nothing illegal or weird, but I think that's going to shock the next generation. Because now it's like when you get the kids a phone, certain age, you have all these requirements, restrictions, at least the good parents. And back in the day, they said, hey, here's a handheld PlayStation. And you can go shoot people.
You can go talk to strangers. Mm-hmm. Who knows what their intentions are.
I used to straight up get to know strangers on Xbox Live as a 13-year-old.
So accounting. Okay, tell me about that.
Okay. Fireman, St. Louis. Okay. Oh, that sounds pretty fun.
But
those chats were wild too.
They were. Well, they at the very beginning of Xbox Live, like with most things, it hadn't been tainted yet. You'd get on and you'd meet a guy and you'd just be like, "Well, how are you today?"
Well, I sure like Call of Duty.
Small talk as you played Madden, and it didn't take long for the culture now where it's 6-year-olds telling you to kill yourself. And you're like, who is raising you?
I had something to say. Hold on, let me find it.
Back in my day.
Yes, it was. You said you never did anything illegal. I've definitely done some illegal stuff.
Well, on the internet, but yeah, in real life.
In real life, no. But I think back in my day, we're like, yeah, not only did we used to own music, because I think now we don't really own as much. Everything, you just subscribe to it. You subscribe to Spotify, you stream it. Not only did we used to own music, but we would like get it for free from Napster and LimeWire.
Yeah,
like
LimeWire.
music was just free for like 5 years. And those people are in jail, or were for a little bit.
Yeah, if you did it really good, you'd go to jail. And there was a big movement like don't pirate. They called it pirating music.
That was
like
confusing.
A pirate, which made it more fun to do. When they were like, "Hey, you're acting like a pirate right now," and you're like, "I'm 12. I love pirates."
Yes.
And I would pirate more. And
ThePirateBay.com. You ever go there?
yeah,
That was a good one.
Laptops used to, and then if you did it too much, you were always at risk of getting a virus.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
laptop could get a virus. Now they've figured out your laptop.
You mean desktop?
Desktop.
computer. Who had
Exactly.
a laptop?
The library and a
Library,
cart.
sure, you had to rent the laptop.
Okay.
Because now Apple, all these, they figured out how to stop the viruses. Like,
Yeah, Mac's always done a good job with those.
but back in the day, you could get a crushing virus where you just had to take it to an Asian in town, and they were always Asian. They came over here and they're like, we figured out these things, and you'd be like, it's too much LimeWire, it's
Finicky.
locked up, and they do crazy stuff to it and fix it.
Getting a virus was so scary, and we just didn't know how computers worked. It was probably our fault. We're probably clicking on the wrong stuff. And do you remember those laptops? They would bring them, they would wheel them into your classroom. They were like big old clunky Dells. And if you didn't want to use like the trackpad at the bottom, there was a mouse like between the G and the H. Do you remember that? Like, why would anyone use that?
I thought it was like that tiny little button, and I thought it was so cool. You're
Yeah,
just
you'd be like,
so
it
dumb.
was cool to use it.
Yeah.
It wasn't-
If you wanted to click on something 6 seconds from now, that is the perfect mouse to use. Like, oh, I can't get there. Yeah, it was so tiny. It was like a BlackBerry.
I would, I'd go out and play in the neighborhood, and they'd have no knowledge of where I was or when I'd be back.
Oh yeah, I didn't get a cell phone until I was 16, I think.
I'm gonna let him do that. Do parents let their kids do that? To be like, hey, go run around the neighborhood, be back.
I mean,
by
I think
dinner.
it depends on where you live.
I had no idea.
And I think that's
Yeah, I'm sure that I don't know if I wouldn't let my kid do it in O Block, but I don't. If you live in a nice neighborhood.
I mean, I
Next door
wouldn't do.
neighbors pretty much is our limit. Like we don't let them go up the street yet, but
Okay, that's
Yeah,
it.
so-
You're gonna look like a psycho if you let him do that. But that's
I mean, yeah, because there are really creepy people now.
plus
no, that's not true. That was the fear that started to get kids indoors. Stranger danger. Hey,
Stranger Danger's not
roll up in
true.
a van. No, it's danger. Uncle danger.
Uncle Danger, yeah, that's what we called it. Yeah.
Make sure if you run out and play, have fun. If you go to your uncle's house, take dad's pager.
I mean,
Pagers.
Yeah, there you go.
parents put full on trackers on their kids now.
yeah.
Like not
The
just like
app?
on your phone,
Well,
like a physical
The
tracker and a
government
clip.
Yeah.
tracked us all.
Pfizer.
Booster. Do doctors still use pagers?
No.
They used them pretty late in the game.
They
though.
were using them as recent as your friend in med school had a pager on her when we were hanging out 2 years ago.
yeah.
Are they still using
like
them?
interns.
I don't know. Is the medical community using
Were they
pagers?
1099 employees? How did that?
Are they?
I don't think that like
Because that's crazy.
surgeons are using. I think that they had to because they share. Okay, hold on.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. Because I think
part of being in med school is like you have to use.
well, because they share the duty. So you just pass around the pager of like, here, it's your turn tonight. Instead of like, I guess they don't want to buy them a phone because they barely are paying them money to eat. So why would they buy them a phone?
ridiculous.
Similar to doctors, hospitals still using the pager, I feel like the White House was using Blackberries
Yeah.
until like 2 or 3 years ago too, which was shocking. Yeah, I guess they were really secure, encrypted or something dumb. But yeah, like everyone, White House staff, everybody there had like a company like BlackBerry until very recently. Always bothered me.
Screw
I didn't
White
even know
House.
they still made those.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. White
They
House.
were fun. I did remember the iPhone. I remember when the iPhone came out, son, and everyone said no buttons. Have you lost your mind?
I gotta have buttons.
Good luck with that.
Because it was harder to text in class with no buttons. If, like Hoodie Pocket, And like T9 Razor, you knew exactly where you were at all times. The 5 was a little perforated, was a little raised, so you knew where the 5 was. BlackBerry, easy to know. iPhone, no thanks. Can't talk to my friends.
Yeah, but by the time these new generations in high school, there won't be a button in America.
Yeah, nothing they drive with will have buttons.
Yeah.
No phones. I mean,
Neuralink.
yeah, I was gonna say even the computer. It'll just be throw on your goggles.
Your own wife will be touchscreen.
Thomas doesn't like that idea.
Okay, sorry, that was inappropriate. We used to load up and go to McDonald's as like a nice family dinner.
All the time.
We deserve this.
Lunch and dinner.
It's good for you.
So much fast food. And just sugar in general, carbs in general. We had the old food pyramid. I mean, I woke up every day of middle school and high school eating like Trix and Frosted Flakes and 2% milk. And then Thomas just exploring the studio. I don't know if the cameras can pick him up. Oh, yeah, you can see his head a little bit.
You see his head a little. There he is.
With you.
And
French toast and syrup, orange juice.
French toast sticks.
Sure. Sonic.
and if you had to go somewhere, MapQuest, printed directions.
It's
Printed.
crazy.
And your dad would drive, obviously.
Yeah.
Because women couldn't back then.
No, yeah, back
and
in
your
my
mom
day.
would navigate, which was somehow more dangerous. And then you would watch your parents get divorced in real time. And that's how you got places. And by the time you got there, they were married again. By the way, it's on the next page. I'm trying.
But did you guys play travel
You've lived
sports?
here your whole life. You think you could figure it out. Just look.
Because when I played travel sports, so I was like the MapQuest flipper for my parents when we would like go to away games.
I would never believe that.
Yeah, I don't know how roads worked if I was that age.
Really?
I remember my mom having MapQuest directions, but also highlighting certain ones.
Yes.
And in hindsight, I don't know what was like more important than like make sure we do not miss this exit.
Yeah, this
That's
is one
funny.
that almost ended our marriage last time. Gotta remember the
You would
left
like print
there
them
on
out the night
Johnson.
before. You'd have to go somewhere.
Totally.
Nice and prepared.
Staple it.
100% a mom.
Staple.
Oh,
Yes,
no, we didn't
staple it.
staple it because we wanted to be able to flip the entire page.
You wouldn't staple?
I think we
I
stapled.
believe that. Not very organized. We were very ready. Staple. Perfect. Precise.
I had like a 3-ring
Highlighted.
binder, folder,
Sure.
three-hole punch.
Would they reset the miles on their car to match the miles on MapQuest?
Oh my gosh.
I do
yes.
think my dad, to this day, is very mathematical about his gas mileage because I don't think his car tells him the gas mileage. So he's just like, when I fill up, I reset the speedometer.
Really?
And then I'll do the math. I'm like, all right, well, I got 348 miles this time and I got 15 gallons. So that's
wow.
how he calculates his mileage.
Smart. And then
I feel like GPS in general, just like, it's crazy to think even, not even just like our parents, that's how you used to get around, but like, even, like I didn't have a phone with GPS until I was probably a freshman or sophomore in college. It's kind of late in life to not know where you are.
yeah, I used to have to memorize the streets in your town.
Yeah.
Which sucked.
And luckily, yeah, I grew up in a place where I never needed to, it wasn't hard to get around. But what did those city kids do?
We used to go to the mall for fun.
Mall was a great time.
That's where kids would hang. Malls used to be popping. Go to the mall was such a treat. You'd go catch a movie, lunch, shop, hang out, see people you knew.
See see kids from Springfield, see maybe a teacher or two, get scared of whatever's going on in Spencer Gifts. Like I wouldn't go in.
We were not allowed to go in there.
What's the other really scary one?
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
Hot
That
Topic.
one is so
Right,
scary.
you go in there. Do the buckle challenge.
Buckle
Good
challenge
old
was
store.
great.
Very, very aggressive in helping you try to walk in and out without being talked to. Never won.
Kristen Baker and Sansi Mann took me into Hot Topic one time, and I was scared.
Oh,
I
You knew a
was,
girl named Sansi?
yeah,
I knew a girl named Sansi. Did she go to Baylor?
no.
I just feel like there can't be more than two.
It's funny you know a Sansi. Yeah, she moved to Stratford on the last day of school in 4th grade. And so I still remember this. Our teacher is like, hey, this desk is for a new student, Sansi. And of course we all thought it was a prank because it's the last day of school. And her name
gonna
was
be a dog.
Sansi. Yeah, I was like, what
What is that name? I can't believe there's more than one of them.
Yeah, I can't believe you've heard of one either. But yeah, Sansi Mann moved into town the
a tough
last
name.
day.
How do you spell that?
Soncee.
Let's see.
Sansi. Anyway, she liked Hot Topic.
Okay, so there's back in my day, brought to you by Correct Opinions.
Yeah. It's fun to think about.
We know our friends Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
Many connections. We met them before.
Yeah.
DJ Michael DJs for them.
Yeah.
They're killing it. I watched their most recent video where Ty hit from a major league pitcher.
Oh yeah.
But they're trying to do theme parks. They're doing it all. I saw this TikTok that I think the people who know them will really enjoy this. Which is it just goes Dude Perfect in 2012 versus now. And this guy, he's just gonna shoot 2 trick shots.
Let's go.
Now.
Let's go. Also praise God.
That killed me, dude. Yeah, they did. All the comments were like, "Yeah, that's why we love them. That's why we love them." But that just killed me. They out of nowhere, they're just like, also, glory to God for the trick shots.
That is pretty funny. Have you seen that clip on TikTok where it's some kind of like college library or something where you can crank the shelves and they go in and they close in on each other?
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that. So they'll like spin the wheel and these bookshelves are closing on each other and these 2 people are trying to sprint through the end of it. And so there's a guy, this is a lot to explain. So you see a guy's face in the corner like reacting to it. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. The bookshelves go in and they barely make it through. He's like, cool. I bet they're not Christians though. And then as soon as they make it through, like, Jesus loves you. And he's like, yes. So yeah, it's just kind of funny. It's just easy to poke fun of sometimes, but yeah, that's funny. You've seen the exact TikTok. Yeah. Oh, pretty cool. Bet they're not Christians.
They had that crazy. They broke the record for the highest trick shot, and they're all just like, I think they're just, how did this go in?
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't even Christians before. They're like, we've made so many trick shots that we believe in God now. It doesn't even make sense.
It's unbelievable what's happening.
It makes anyone believe. Yeah, I believe now too. We made a shot from 1,000 feet.
Yeah, you get high up enough, and you're like, I gotta feel God up here.
Mm-hmm.
We are close to heaven. And I'm shooting a basketball down.
Dude, perfect.
They're awesome. Good for them. Very consistent brand. The whole time.
Yeah. What else content we got?
I saw. We'll give you a preview later on. We're gonna do maybe a new segment. White people need to stop. But first, we're looking at a different race.
Okay.
It doesn't have a name. That would be inappropriate.
It's not the race I don't like, is it?
Derek, you want to click on that Instagram link? Ski reactions. This one you kind of need to watch for a little bit for you guys to really see what I want you to see. But it's over the top the whole time. 10-year-old birthday party. So first of all, they're throwing money on her.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that looks like
It looks like a doll, yeah.
Okay, we got a young, beautiful black family. We love our African American.
And then wait until you can really see these sparks.
There's actual fire.
Look at it.
There's actual fire at a 10-year-old birthday party.
Catching the ceiling on fire.
Just shooting against ceiling tiles.
Okay, seriously, it's actually, is it not burning the
That's
ceiling?
amazing.
I couldn't believe this video. You come for the money being thrown at the 10-year-old girl, and you stay for the flames on the ceiling, dude.
Does it never go wrong?
I don't understand how it's not catching on fire.
I don't know. You never see it catch a blaze?
Top comments, it looks like a blend of poverty and expensive. That's a good way to describe most over-the-top gender reveal parties and the like. Like, are these people rich or poor? Go either way.
And like spending a ton of money on a 3-year-old, a 10-year-old, fill in the blank's birthday. It's like, maybe you have a ton of money, or maybe you're really bad with money, and that's why you're doing this. But yeah, that was amazing. I was like, wow, why are they throwing money at this little girl? Oh my gosh, the ceiling's on fire. Does no one think that's a problem?
No, excuse me. I don't want to be that guy, but...
You have 2 indoor fireworks.
We're going to burn the house down. Have you ever almost caught anything on fire?
Oh, for sure.
Dude, I can think back to 2 times where I think I could have maybe made headlines where like he started a nationwide fire.
That's such a guy thing. Why are guys
Oh my
specifically
goodness.
so interested in fire?
I was a huge pyro growing up.
Yeah, why?
Shocker.
Yeah.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
bottle rocket wars.
You ever do
4th of July.
works bombs?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
With the,
yeah. I blew up so many strangers' mailboxes.
No, you did not.
No, I didn't.
You really did that?
Back in my day, you could destroy people's property and get away with it.
Isn't that like a
Back in
federal
my day,
offense?
Probably.
There's a
cops
statute of
loved it.
limitation. I'm sure he's good now.
You didn't know what it
If
was.
your mom, does your
It was a
mom know
certain-
this?
Probably. I don't know.
Well, if she didn't,
she did. She was like, what keeps happening to the mailbox?
Our toilet bowl cleaner just kept disappearing.
If you didn't know, it was a weird brand of toilet bowl cleaner and aluminum foil.
Yep.
And you mixed it together.
What?
And it would cause a reaction and explode.
What?
I've heard about
awesome.
this. It's funny that you guys both did it because I only knew of like the really bad kids doing this. Like the kids in like alternative school were doing this kind of stuff in Stratford.
Yeah. I remember we did that, one of those out in like a field in Oklahoma during like a burn ban. And a couple buddies were like, oh, we're going to start a fire. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not. No, we're not. Which in fairness, at the time, and I still believe this, that never caused a
It's not a flame.
Yeah, it's not a flame. It's a chemical reaction. So that guy's dumb. Was then, still is. So that wasn't a big fear. But I was young enough to be like, I'm not super confident in this. But recently at the studio, we were filming a bit for 4th of July, doing funny fireworks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll do the Roman candle guy, shooting the Roman candles. And I shot one. Or no. It was a mortar. I was like, let's capture the guy who just throws a mortar like a absurd person, explodes on the ground. And I threw it, and it bounce down in between the flower bed and like the fence. So I'm like, oh, bummer. And it goes, boof, and then just flames start shooting up.
The fence was about to be on
Flames start
fire.
shooting up. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I completely folded under pressure. I was like running into the sink, and Hannah, who we mentioned, she just turned on a hose and put it out. But I was like, oh my gosh, dude, I cannot believe I did that. That's number 2. Number 1, we were in Park City, Utah, which is a desert for people who don't know. And it was a particularly dry time.
Yeah.
It was also, by the end of our trip, a haze was coming over Utah because that gender reveal West Coast fire was happening.
Yes, I think I was in Yosemite
And
around this
taking
time.
over, and smoke was engulfing the West. It was so dry, and we were trying to start a fire to enjoy like at the fire pit at the Airbnb.
Well, that's nice.
I think I didn't even take time to look this up, but there was probably an alert that was like, do not do fires.
Yeah, it might have been.
And I was like, here's a good way to start it. I have a lighter, and it was like a piece of, like Christmas tree brush
Okay.
branch. And
Yeah.
if you don't know, that's the most flammable thing
Real
God
dry.
put on this earth. I lit it, and that thing just immediately went, woof, and I had to like drop it because it almost burned me alive. And then and I put it, just like was trying to like smother it, and I got it out. And I just feel like I was pretty close to just seeing the landscape catch on fire. It was I was by myself. We were with 10 people. I was like, I'll go start it.
gosh.
I just had a moment to myself to be like, did I almost just like kill people? Like it was awful.
One time at camp, I was put in charge of the fireworks, which is dumb. I did not grow up with fireworks, not real smart. And yeah, we were setting up mortars or whatever. And I think if they're real heavy duty, maybe it's just to weigh them down or drill them into to wood or something. Well, I just had them on the ground. Well, after the first one went off, it fell over, I think, and then more started shooting out of it or something. Anyway, so we got a firework on the ground shooting sideways at the children. And everybody was fine. I was not in charge of the fireworks next session.
Yeah. It is. It's so fun though.
It is cool. Great way to spend money.
It is.
I never really understood when like
You don't like fire?
I don't really like fire, and the amount of money people spent on fireworks was just so dumb to me.
Hey,
I worked at a fireworks
we're
stand,
independent.
and it was shocking.
It's
It-
kind of like a casino.
Like thousands of dollars
you
on
guys sit
something
down
that's
at
just going to blow up.
Yeah, you see a guy sit out at the table. You're like,
He doesn't
put
need to
that
be
in
here.
your bank account, buddy. Don't do
That,
this.
yeah.
And it's definitely people who like
I'll take
shouldn't
the
be
Trump
spending money on it.
Tower mortar keg.
Red, white, blue, and Trump bomb. I'll take that one. Yeah.
Sir, that's $1,000. I don't think you could two of them.
I don't feel right.
That is a
Oh,
good
you're taking money out of your
correlation.
sock.
Sorry,
Don't take money
That
out
is
of
a
your
good
sock.
Drove a
correlation. The
shopping
people
cart
who
here.
are at casinos late night and kind of weird small towns are also buying fireworks.
Yeah, it's also one of the most what do you call it? Just
Margins.
Like, yeah, margin. I mean, you're buying gunpowder. I mean, this is stuff. It's like rice. It's like you shouldn't be charging $80 for it. Probably
Yeah, it looks sick though.
looks so
Brandon.
fun.
Is there any other time where you were worried you almost harmed someone or a mass amount of people? 'Cause
I might have been close to injuring myself one time. I was filling up my tire with air, and then I would like fill up with air, and then I go check the car, which was supposed to tell me it's PSI, and it's like it still says 32. I put a lot of, all right, I'll go put more air in it. Put a ton more air. It still says 32. Gosh, I must not be doing it right. And so then I'm really putting it in there. I'm like, maybe I need to drive around a little bit. And so then, as you know, like cars, once you start to drive around, then it can actually gauge the pressure. And then it said like 68 or something. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Just Bart's like, get out of your car. Get out of your car. You didn't blow it up though?
No, but I was like, I was
Whoa.
right down there. Like my face is next to it, blowing it up. I was like, was this about to pop in my face? Like, how dangerous would that have been? I don't know. Yeah. And so I was like, oh my
I've definitely heard of people exploding their tires over inflated them. I'm sure it's a terrifying experience.
I had to get so close.
Say bye.
We tried our best.
Say bye.
Oh, bye. Yep. Wave goodbye to everyone. Bye. You're being kicked off the air, son. Back in my day, you used to have good little boys who do the podcast. Thank you. Bye. Katie, you're glowing. Looking very skinny. That was good, right? Do you think I'll get to go to this lake day?
That should be the difference.
I've been texting my buddies. We've been doing like funny Vegas odds, like plus 500. Odds are I'm 50 to 1 be able to go. I was like, guys, when we were in New York, I told her and her mom to go to a Broadway show. I'll watch Thomas. So I'm like 40 to 1 now.
Odds just changed. Yeah. It's now plus 3,500.
I mean, the Masters, I was trying to watch my buddies. I got up, I made her pancakes. The ladies need to leverage. We're dumb creatures. Leverage the thing.
The things we want.
Oh, the Masters coming up? Well, I'll let you do it if bum, 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 and we'll do it. It's just smart. Okay, Derek, you were talking about how you've killed people, or what was it?
I was worried I almost did. So when Beck and I were dating, she had an apartment. She was getting a new mattress. She's like, hey, can you bring it over from one of the many mattress firms that exist?
Love going there.
There's 7.
In Liberty, there's 2 that you could see each other from them. There's 2 different mattress firms.
Yeah, they're laundering, but it's fine. Yeah.
So I put it in a trailer. I strap it down, one strap across the middle, drive all the way, get to Becca's apartment. I look and I call her on the phone. I'm like, Becca, the mattress isn't here.
He's like, it's your fault. Can you help?
Yeah. So
do you know where it is?
It was your situation with not getting the hose. I just panicked, being like, I have no clue. There's no problem solving skills. And then I started thinking, oh crap! It flew out and hit like 5 cars. I caused a big pile up.
That's scary.
So
no.
I drove back, just shaking, thinking I'm going to see a massive pile up.
Yeah.
It landed right in the medium of a freeway. So I had to stop, get out, and then walk like 200 yards with this giant mattress on my back in the middle of in the medium. But
and then someone was looking at them distracted and they died.
Yeah. You got him eventually.
Yeah.
That road's pretty wild. We have a guy every Sunday who runs with an American flag and a Trump flag under it for like 20 miles. So you see some crazy things on that road.
He runs the median?
Yep, he runs right in the middle. He gets people to honk at him. It's Liberty to the max.
Wow, that guy's must be in good shape.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Running with the flag can't be easy.
We had a guy in college who carried a cross on his back to class every day. You ever have a guy like that?
This guy probably was that before 2016.
Yeah.
We didn't
It's the same guy. He's like, I'm going to do this now.
we didn't have that. How was he received?
I mean, we were at Oklahoma in the Bible Belt pretty well. Yeah. I think there's a lot of you go so radical that it's like, wow, respect. I mean, that's got to be exhausting.
What are the logistics? Where's it at when he's not walking with it?
Apparently he'd just bring it into like the classroom hall and kind of set it next to his desk and.
Okay. So we could fit in his dorm room.
I was on a bus with him somewhere once, and he had it on the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just everywhere. Full his height.
Yeah, like a full size. What is he up to now, you think? He's in jail for January 6th. He's in the Proud Boys.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's got back problems for sure. Man in Pennsylvania was getting a vasectomy as earthquake struck. Oh, man.
Oh.
Justin Allen was getting the snip at a local clinic, and an earthquake hit. Doctors were forced to put the tools down for a moment before continuing. It was a 4.8 quake that rocked the tri-state area.
What was 4.8?
They couldn't continue working on this 4.8. It's great.
They said we had a little snip. He's now down to 4.8.
Earthquake's fault. Man, that's getting the old snip and that happens. I mean, is there anything worse? Thoughts and prayers for this guy. I hope they were able to work through it. But
this is a great article. He looks truly as happy as could be. I think this is his first time on the news. I mean, the Daily Mail picking this up. This is not your local news.
This is a big deal. He told The Guardian, I thought maybe a train was passing by or just something that happens at the office. And the doctor was like, I think it's an earthquake. I thought it was just messing around. But he had to stop because everything was shaking. As he was lying on the operating bench, as the doctor snipped at his tubes. Okay. What are the tubes?
Yeah, the vas deferens.
Is that what they're called?
It's something down there.
I don't even know how it works. There's tubes they snip off?
Yeah, so it's the tubes that carry your grandchildren.
The millions of eggs.
Yeah, it carries the eggs to the front of the battle. You cut that tube. What happens after that? I don't know.
I don't know.
And
it, like the Michael Scott, like snip, snap, unsnip. They go back and just reattach it if you're like, I changed my mind.
Yeah, maybe they're just kind of dangling and they're just ready to, like a Lady in the Tramp situation. I don't know.
Oh yeah, a vasectomy involves cutting or blocking the vas deferens.
There you go.
What a trivia guy over here. Wow, that could have gone wrong.
Yeah,
if it was higher on the Richter scale.
Yeah, he could pay for a lot more procedures. I mean, that's
become like a discount transition.
Yeah, how's that work? If you can commit like medical malpractice, but it was because of an earthquake?
Yeah, that's not really your fault.
Who gets sued? Mother Nature? Does she get involved? What's her health insurance? Mm-hmm. Gray area.
Dude, perfect.
Page them. Beep them. If you want to reach them.
Are you drinking some Liquid Death? Are you staying hydrated?
I'm not, sadly.
Okay, well, you need to crack a tall boy because you're pregnant. You need to stay hydrated. And I'm staying hydrated with Liquid Death because Liquid Death will brutally murder your thirst, and their infinitely recyclable cans are helping to bring death single-use plastic bottles. Isn't that right, Jake?
Well, my wife's not answering, so I'll just...
She passed out from dehydration in Liquid Death?
She doesn't get it. That's why she's not here. Yeah, Liquid Death is amazing. It's fun. It's just a fun way to drink water. It feels cooler. It feels healthier. It's out of a can. There's no microplastics, and it's infinitely recyclable. That's why they call it Liquid Death. So you can get free shipping of Liquid Death's mountain water, flavored sparkling water, iced tea 8-packs with Amazon Prime, or grab a can or a case at your local 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, or on Instacart. Go to liquiddeath.com/trade to check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. That's liquiddeath.com/Trey.
Liquiddeath.com/Trey.
Nice, Katie.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Oh, I wish I had more of it.
I just searching for help. Where do I get it from? BetterHelp.
Yeah, that was fun. You nailed that one. I'm looking for more time is what I'm looking for. The question is, time for what? If time was unlimited, how would you use it? I don't know. What would you do? If you had unlimited time, what'd you do?
Oh, a lot of amusement parks. Because sometimes you have to wait in line.
Yep.
Which makes me anxious.
The best way to squeeze that special thing into your schedule is to know what's important to you and make it a priority. Roller coasters. Therapy can help you find what matters to you so you can do more of it. That's what's great. When you need to maximize your time, therapy can really help you navigate what's important to you, what to prioritize. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try BetterHelp. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I've done therapy. It did help me prioritize my things in life. So try it. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/correct for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/correct.
When I started being an influencer, do you think I was out here thinking I was going to sell stuff? No, I was just trying to be a little funny boy. But now look at me, got a podcast, all this. I even have my own website with merch, store.trayking.com, and it's powered by Shopify. And it is because it's so easy to use. I'm the type of guy I was like, I don't know, what's all this? I checked out Shopify. Yeah, you heard that. It's the sound of a new sale. It's literally that easy. If you have e-commerce of any stage, small company, huge company, you can utilize Shopify. It helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And you sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Yeah, AI, you heard it. It's taking over, people. It can help you run your business online. So Go check them out. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, ever heard of them, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. So go get started today. We don't offer for you guys, of course, for the Recties. Go sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/correctopinions, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/correctopinions right now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/correctopinions. And now week 2 of the Shelter Kids series. Y'all loved it last week. Thank you. Trust me, you're going to love these as well. So relax and enjoy listening to these awkward people chat about them. I'm kidding. They're fun. A little bit. Enjoy. Welcome to the podcast, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for being here. Good to meet you. And please tell us why you might have had the most sheltered upbringing in America, in the world. How'd you grow up?
I grew up pretty normal until the age of like 8. And then 8 is basically when my family decided to join a group that was incredibly religious. We basically kind of shut down regular life. We became very sheltered.
You joined like a church, or what exactly did they?
Was founded by a group of people. I won't say names, but it was founded by a group of people that wouldn't only meet within their group, but it wasn't a founded organization like the Baptist or whatever. They kind of were their own group.
Interesting. How big or small was this organization?
Oh gosh. I mean, we're talking hundreds of people. They would have like camp meetings and stuff that we would go to several times in the year, and huge numbers would turn out. So it was a lot.
What were the values of this organization? What were they all about? What made you become so sheltered because of it?
The basic value being taught was everything that you do reflects Christ, which I do agree with to an extent to this day. But with every religious group, you have some that take it extreme. So we were in, I would say, the extreme side. So things like we couldn't wear short sleeves because the elbow might be too attractive to the opposite sex. So we had to wear long sleeves. I'm being serious.
Elbow.
Yes.
The weenus.
Yes.
Allow me.
Exactly.
Save it for OnlyFans. Okay. No bows. I like that.
Definitely long sleeves. And then the females could not wear pants. We had to wear skirts down to our ankles.
Sure.
The knees.
If you wore pantyhose, they could only be the nude color. You couldn't wear any colored pantyhose because that would bring attention to your legs. The little bit that you could see. Different,
You saw like
different
a
things
red
like
ankle
that.
popping out. Right.
You're in trouble. You're gonna go to hell.
I'm in trouble. Okay, that's fascinating. Your submission here is fantastic. That's how we got you on the podcast. You said you weren't allowed to eat at restaurants that even had a bar like inside of it.
It was very sheltered because if someone saw you going in that restaurant, they could think you're going to the bar part. So the concept was don't let your good be evil spoken of. And so that applied to movie theaters because you could go and see a good movie, but you could also be in there to see a bad movie. So no movie theaters for us.
Oh, wow.
Dang. I mean, that's really...
So no Chili's.
No.
So if you couldn't go to
So
the movie
you're
theater,
talking
what did...
mom and pop restaurants.
I was going to say,
Right.
there's not that many
Yeah.
restaurants that don't serve alcohol, like dinner restaurants.
I know. Yeah. They might serve it, but they couldn't have a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. They could serve it, just no bar.
privately.
Interesting.
Just no bar.
So what did entertainment look like for you, like music and movies?
We had a family band and yes, we had a family band, and my dad and my sister would write songs, but they had to be about Jesus. They would write songs and we'd sing. My brother played guitar, bass. I played the piano. My older sister sings. So family band was a big one. And then
That's awesome.
because we didn't have a TV. So we just honestly, which isn't bad looking back, we grew up outside. We played, we used our imagination. But yeah, that's what we did. We rode our bikes.
Religious people love their bikes.
And like the unpopular religions love
Yeah.
bikes the most, it seems like.
I've never put it
True.
together that those people bike in your door. It's also because it's their only form of entertainment. Like, might as well
Exactly.
proselytize while we're.
Because if they were in a car, they could be going to a bar. So a bike is like a little more safe. It's like, well, it's probably just going to someone's house.
So I want to clarify, you couldn't listen to any other music, just
No,
like even
just
if it was
praise and worship.
okay.
It couldn't be Christian rap because that is being influenced by evil. It couldn't be Christian rock because that's influenced by evil.
Sure.
It was solely praise and worship. And even then, they could find something wrong in some of them.
So would you say,
part of her, she said, has anyone familiar with Ron Connolly? Am I saying that right? Connolly?
Yes.
Connolly.
Ron Cannoli.
Ron Connolly.
never heard.
Yep.
He's a gospel guy. And she said he raps in this song, so they couldn't listen to any of his music.
All right, let's hear it.
Oh, gosh.
Where's the rap? Rap it for us, Ron. Get back, Satan! That's so funny. Like they're just cycling through the gospel album. Like, oh, he's singing it faster.
Oh, that demon cannoli.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, and then the big whammy of your submission that we've all been wanting to hear about is the Christmas. How was Christmas in Tracy's household?
So Christmas was normal until I was 8. And then at 8 years old, my family, when they hooked up with this organization, was taught that Christmas came from pagan holidays and it didn't exemplify Christ in the right way. So we sat down as a family and they broke the news to us that we would no longer be doing Christmas. It was devastating. It really was.
Was that the same year you learned Santa wasn't real? That's overwhelming.
That's a lot of
Oh my
ones.
gosh. Well,
Seriously,
that
though,
is
you're
one thing
8?
they never taught us.
Oh, you
when I
never
was
did
about 8 years
Santa?
old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never did Santa, but we did do Christmas. And we used to go to like my Nana's house Christmas Eve, open presents. Like it was a big deal. We have a big family. They actually sat and talked to my Nana and explained to them that we would no longer be participating in all the extra family Christmas stuff. And yeah, after that, there was no Christmas.
So two questions. Did something replace Christmas? And also, what's Nana think of all of this?
Yeah.
Is she on board with the bicyclists?
Ooh, we live very surrounded by like my mom's extended family. None of them liked it. They all kind of thought we were going into a crazy deep end, which we were.
What?
And and so in our house, Christmas Day, it's actually my sister's birthday. So we just celebrated her birthday and that's it.
Wow. Okay.
At least there was a birthday.
That's all.
At least there was a birthday.
Is she still getting gifts on Christmas? Or her birthday?
Yeah, her birthday.
Do like a 50 Cent album?
To me, and because I'm so used to it, I didn't think that was the crazy part of my story, but my husband's like, no, that was crazy for me. So to hear y'all's reaction, I'm like, wow, that is the crazy part of my story.
What do you feel is the crazy part of your story?
Yeah.
Because I'm all ears.
Oh my goodness. Probably just the amount of rules the women had to follow versus the men. The men didn't have as much to worry about as the women did in our group. So to me, that's looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like to me, that's the crazy part.
What?
Can you- oh, yeah, sorry.
I would love to hear some of these
Here come
rules.
feminists coming at you, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
And I'd like the
So-
leader's email.
Yeah. What did he think of Barbie?
Oh goodness. Okay, so we were not allowed to cut our hair. So by the time I was 18, I had hair down to my knees. So couldn't cut our hair.
Good for
couldn't
you,
wear
though.
makeup.
Not bad.
Yeah. A lot of girls are jealous, yeah.
Well, it's a pain to deal with.
How many times a week did you watch that? Surely not more than once.
Just every other day, like
Oh my gosh.
We're allowed to.
That is
when you
Okay.
get used to it.
yeah.
Fascinating. Yeah, what else?
Obviously, shirts and skirts had to be of certain length, no pants whatsoever. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Duggar show, but you had to not be very assertive. You couldn't like stand up for yourself because if you did, you were back talking the men kind of thing. It was more along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen enough documentaries. I feel like I can imagine exactly.
That's kind of how they like to do it.
Yeah,
I have a really
it wasn't
specific,
that same group, but similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a specific question on the shirts. Did you wear like the Aeropostale shirt with the skirts, or was it like? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that
I
of this,
know.
Was that of this world, or were you rocking some kind of low-key fire fits?
Yeah.
So I knew some girls who would do the Aeropostale shirt with like the jean skirt. But my dad didn't like free advertising, is what he called it.
Oh yeah, he's a businessman.
And so
Yeah, I mean, the only
So-
music you can listen to was written by your brother. I would assume the only shirt you can wear.
Everything's in house.
Yeah, we do it all here.
to this day, I refuse to wear a jean skirt. Like, I can't do that.
They're back
But
in style.
That's what we wore.
Yeah, they're back.
No,
It's more
they will
trauma.
never.
Yeah. Cultural
They
chic.
will never be.
Wait,
No,
how
no
long
thank
are the
you.
skirts are back in style, Katie?
Past your knee.
Right?
A denim
Wow.
skirt past your knee. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, but the skirts have slits. And so back in the day, we would have to sew the slit together or put a piece of fabric in between the slit and sew
Right.
it so it was covered.
Shuffle around.
Wow.
You guys
That's
make
Exactly.
tricky.
not a wide range of motion.
No.
Does this group still exist?
I have kept in touch with one person from the group who she also left. It kind of broke apart once I
Okay.
became like in my early 20s. I heard that it kind of broke apart and yeah, people didn't do so good.
When did you start to piece together? When did you realize you were sheltered and maybe your upbringing was
Ooh.
a bit strange?
When I was 16, and we went to, my Nana like invited us to go to the beach. And so we went. And so you can imagine being a sheltered kid,
Oh, yeah.
never having been around people in bathing suits or whatever. And you go to the
You're
beach.
seeing
and I
elbows
remember
left
the
and
first-
right.
They're everywhere. Everywhere. But I remember sitting on the balcony and watching these teenagers just play volleyball. They were swimming in the ocean. And I remember being so scared to go down there because I didn't want to look like an idiot because we had to swim in T-shirts and jean skirts.
Like a drowning
tough.
hazard.
So I
That's
well,
tough,
you'd
yeah.
be surprised. You get real strong when you start.
I was going to say, you were probably a very good swimmer.
Unbelievable lower body strength. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that is a shelter. I mean, I was less sheltered. I wasn't in a cold, but I was also scared of other kids and swim with my shirt on. But
Yeah.
no one made me do that.
Sounds like Nana really saved the day. And then how did you break out of this organization? And when did that happen?
Oh, so y'all are going to love this. I, at the age of 18, went and joined the Army without telling my parents.
Whoa.
Wow.
And so, yeah. So that's how I got out because I didn't want to hurt my parents. Like I love them. And as a parent now myself, I can partially understand that they thought they were doing the right thing for us. And they've come a long way. They're not quite like that anymore. They've kind of come back. But at 18, I was done. So I joined the Army and I came home and I told them, I was like, hey, I signed the contract today. And they were like, a contract for what? And I'm like, I joined the U.S. Army. And they were floored. But by then, I was 18, I signed, and I left. So I did it so I could get away without hurting their feelings.
Wow.
And that's how I got out.
Yeah. What was
Yeah.
your schooling
Oh,
like 8 to 18? Were you homeschooled, public school?
I was homeschooled. I
Guys,
did go
never
to
been in a
public school
cult
up until
before.
7th grade.
What do you had a
Well,
you had Ole Miss?
yeah.
Where'd you go next?
You know what? Why I asked that question? Because I was like, what's she saying? Like, I don't know. I'm surprised you knew what the Army was. Like, when would you learn about it if you can't see
Fair
it?
question.
That is fair. So
Recruiters will
I
find you anywhere.
remember.
Yeah, recruiters.
They're really good at their job.
True. That's true. We did go to this one. It was some church event, and they had the National Guard out there so kids could climb on the trucks and stuff. And I remember them trying to recruit my brother, and I just saw it as the opportunity of a lifetime.
Wow, interesting.
Wow. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Basic training. They're like, you have to wear all this gear and swim. And she's like, do it in a skirt.
Yeah. I'll do it.
I can tell
while
you though,
playing
from
piano.
being, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, but you know what though? They did make me platoon guide, and I sing those cadences no problem.
This girl's unbelievable. Yeah, I fully believe a homeschooled cult would produce pretty amazing Army privates. I mean, I do believe that. The strict rules.
Yeah, they
she's
get there,
like,
like-
she's like,
We
this
can
is
follow them.
it's like spring break out here.
It's
I'm allowed
easy.
to talk. Well, that's yeah. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing your story. That is actually fascinating.
welcome.
And you said you're married with and a mom now. Your
Yeah,
hair's
well,
not. I
I've been a
can't
mom
tell.
for
Your
quite a
hair's not to
while.
your knees.
No,
Okay.
that's been long gone.
Okay. Well, glad to hear you're doing well. Thanks for being a fan of the show, spending some time for letting us get to know you. And next time we're around Richmond, we'll have to get you out to the show. But Yeah, thanks so much, and we'll it's up to the world to decide.
Yeah.
If you're,
I'd say
we'll hold the crown.
You really put your best foot forward. So well done.
Thanks again, Tracy.
Thank you, guys. Absolutely love your podcast. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hailing from Oklahoma City, even Edmond, place I know and love. Susanna, everyone. Susanna.
All right.
Oh.
Susanna, she stuck out in our submissions for many reasons. She grew up with 8 siblings.
Wow.
It appears here some of these are adopted, yes?
Yeah, so 8 of the 9 of us are adopted, and our youngest 3 are actually triplets from Liberia.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Oh, so you are adopted as well?
Yes, I'm adopted.
Okay.
5 of us are not related at all. We were all adopted from different families because my mom couldn't have kids. And actually, when she got pregnant with her biological daughter, she thought she was dying. And then she was just pregnant.
Wow.
Wow. What order is the biological one?
So she's 3rd, and I'm 4th. And then everyone else kind of falls around, and then the triplets are 7, 8, and 9.
That's a nice shelter problem. Siblings, I have 7, 8, no wait, 8, 9.
Math is hard.
Yeah,
Wow.
math is hard because she grew up in IBLP. If you've seen the Duggar documentary, which was big in Oklahoma
wild.
and beyond, and she also can play violin, which is kind of goes without saying. It
You didn't need to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes with the territory. We grew up with an IBLP group, and we actually didn't even branch into an actual church. We home churched with 3 or 4 other families, and our dads preached for us and brought us through the Bible and stuff, and then we would potluck together, but that was our little community.
When did you realize you had a sheltered upbringing?
Okay, so plot twist, when I joined the Marine Corps.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because I didn't realize anything was super crazy. There were girls in boot camp with me that were freaking out about their phones and having hard times being around alcohol or anything else that they used outside. And I was kind of I'm just chilling with my siblings over here.
Sheltered kids make unbelievable soldiers, I'd imagine. You're this is a walk in the park compared to what my dad pastor put me through.
Did you reach 18 and you were like, I gotta get out and do something, or?
So when I was 16, I told my parents that I wanted to join the Marine Corps. And my dad was not happy. And so he told me I needed to go to a military school kind of thing. And he said, if you even graduate, if you even make it through 6 months of this military school, then I will let you. But if you don't, I'm not going to let you. And so they sent me to this place called Thunderbird Youth Academy. And I went there for 6 months and I graduated top of my class.
Ew.
And then when I
Go
was
Thunderbirds.
17, I joined the Marine Corps.
You're 17. Wow.
I didn't know you can do that.
I know. I thought you had to be
It was wild.
18.
She was actually 29, but 17 in homeschool years. Yeah. Are you aware you're sheltered and want to get out? Are you simply just the Marine sounds fun? Where are you at in that time?
I had gone to an IBLP program called STEP, and it was kind of designed, I think, for IBLP young women who wanted to do things that we are not usually allowed to do, like hiking and stuff. And I'm yeah, that really didn't cut it for me. If you look it up, it's this whole thing. We memorized the entire book of Philippians. We got to wear pants. It was this whole thing.
And it was an approved
and I kind of
program?
was yes. So basically, they had a lot of women that were upset they couldn't do the alert program, which is basically IBLP military. And so they were give them this, they'll be happy. We, in fact, were not. We were offended. So then we joined the Marine Corps. Actually, I went to STEP with a couple other women who did go join the Marine Corps. And it was at that point we realized that we had gone too deep and there was no going back.
Oh, wow.
So we just kind of had to roll with it. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's a fast, most people, I feel when you get maybe in something where they're pushing you too hard, you're I gotta get me out of here. And she's oh yeah? Navy SEALs next. I want more of this. And then you're all right, too much. Why am I in Iraq now? Too much. Yeah. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it was.
So
it was
hiking, are you a big hiker now? Or when you see a hike, are you kind of oh, that's making me nervous?
No, actually, we just got back from vacation and we left from San Diego, which is where they have recruit training depot for the Marine Corps. And we saw the roofs and we were that sucks. And then we saw like a bunch of like really young Marines, and we were like, they got no idea. That really sucks. I don't do those things for fun at all. Like if someone's like, go run, I'm like, I'd rather not. It was a good like season of my life, which is now done, and so is running and hiking. So
okay, so I need some other activities that you were not allowed to do that kind of would be shocking. Such as hiking.
We couldn't ride horses unless we were wearing split skirts, which you've probably never heard of.
Fancy horse riding sheltered skirts.
Like
That's fantastic.
Like gauchos
That's what I was gonna
meet
say,
denim skirt.
I see.
Yeah, it was out of pocket. It was it was just totally
Wait, so yeah, it was just like
it was pants.
jeans.
It was just really wide.
It was a lot of
chaps.
it was like pants that could fit 3 trays on a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you watch the Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey documentary?
I most certainly did.
Yeah, I mean, if they make a documentary about your cult, you have to watch it.
You got to watch, because what was funny is a lot of people that we know for a long time were arguing like, well, it's not a cult. And so now it's kind of like, well, we have a documentary, so we're not a cult.
Are your parents, are they still that kind of like conservative, or like where are they now?
My dad is totally not a part of it. He wasn't super active in a lot of it, so he's outright apologized to us for some stuff, just because he didn't really realize what it was, I don't think. But my mom is still kind of involved in some areas, and most of our friends that we grew up with are still like very unapologetically involved with it. So we were like one of the first families of our little clique to just kind of walk away from it.
Good for your friends. They're like, hey, it's going to take multiple documentaries to get us to leave the church.
Right.
You can't just do it with one.
And it was also Shiny Happy People. Jake, you're thinking about a different cult.
Right.
Oh,
yes. I thought you were referencing like she watched that one and be like, well, it could have been way worse. I mean,
yeah.
That was the Fundamentalist Mormons.
Fundamentalist Mormon, yeah.
With like
Yeah.
the 84-year-old would marry like children. So
well, I figured that was Anna's first husband. That's what I thought.
We were like, we were not doing that.
Yeah.
She was baking. I mean, again, there's like you said, there's pros and cons to everything. You probably didn't learn enough math, but I mean, can you imagine how Susanna baking? Oh, do you still like to bake, or are you like, I've done enough baking?
Well,
in my lifetime?
I am a sourdough girly now,
Okay.
but I am also a working mom, so I heavily rely on Costco for most of that. But yeah, no, I'm not like knee deep in like loaves of bread for the family for the week or anything like that. That's excessive.
Now, as you currently sit there, is there something you haven't done in your life that it's like, I've been so sheltered, I can't believe I've never done this?
My husband took my maternity leave as an opportunity to make me watch like the Harry Potter stuff, because he was just like really tired of me not knowing what it was. To which I say I preferred the reactions of people who were like, you've never seen it, to the actual franchise. It was not that great.
Get that? Yeah.
I married an Edmund boy, and so we've done a lot since we've been married. Like, we do really fun vacations now. Like, we go skiing. I'm really grateful for the life that we have. And I don't really feel like I've missed a whole lot. I'm just like really enjoying like having young kids and executing on some of the things that we want to do as a family. So
That's
I don't really
wonderful.
feel like I missed a whole lot. I feel like I have a cool story. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
No, I think it is good, because I had a couple people ask me if I did IBLP, knowing how I grew up in Oklahoma, but we didn't. But I think people watch those documentaries and they go, oh my gosh, what an awful, horrible cult, blah, blah, blah. But it's like a ton of families.
What church did you go to?
Henderson Hills, baby. Yeah.
We go to Waterloo. So.
Wow. Yeah, land's cheaper out there. Sorry. I went to the rich one. Boy,
I haven't
good
been out
find.
of my cult long enough to be rich.
I know. We'll get there. Yeah. let me know.
How much sheltering do you plan on doing with your kids?
So I am veering toward shelter and moderation. So my daughter goes to Deer Creek schools, which I thought was great, until we ended up in national headlines, and now I'm kind of refiguring that.
What did they do?
But yeah,
what
so
happened?
we do
The
that.
library. What they do?
Okay, so
Drag.
okay,
brunch?
it's this whole thing. They did a fundraiser for like a local coffee shop in the community, where they made high school students, or not make them. That's how they're defending themselves. They didn't make them. They wanted to do it. but they were licking peanut butter off of the toes of adult sponsors that they didn't know.
You didn't see this?
What? How'd you see this, Derek?
I saw it this week.
I like that. And it's kind of funny to like her parents were like, I try with your grandkids. We don't want to shelter as much. We want them to get out there. It's like, well, your son just licked the toes of a fat woman in
I could
Deer
not, in
Creek.
my wildest dream, come up with a scenario like that. I'm so confused.
And this raised
that
money.
is-
What is a successful fundraiser? Did they raise a lot of money?
Yeah,
the peanut butter fund?
Saved millions.
They raised like $30,000.
Well, keep it going then.
Because
To lick a few pencil toes.
crazy.
those adults wanted their toes licked. I'm just like,
It was
really?
a dare.
I don't
right?
really
There's-
understand what
That's
happened.
a classic fundraiser. Like,
It was-
they have to lick his toes. But yeah.
And people are just throwing money at it. Lick the janitors. I got $5,000 on the janitor.
I am so concerned by this. I can't even. What adult was part of this that thought it was okay?
The kid had a peanut
Well, the
allergy,
whole
too.
district, when the district had to defend themselves, like news people were like, "Why did you make these kids do this?" And they were like, "Well, we didn't make them.
They showed up to
consented."
school and just, that was their idea. They wanted to do that.
The teachers were like, hey, I mean, my feet were tied. Well, that's...
Wow.
All right, well, so
Wow.
maybe not Deer Creek, but hey, they are experiencing some real life
Right.
stuff, I guess.
They went to Disneyland this week, so
Wow.
there's that.
Yeah. Okay. Big
Yeah,
time.
there was a joke because what we would do is we would get all the kids out, they would do their morning, and then my mom stayed at the hotel so they could rest, and we would go out and like have a date night, and we were like riding little kid rides, and I was like laughing and almost crying. I was so happy. And my husband's like very stoic, and he looked at me and said, well, one of us didn't have a very happy childhood. And
No, what does this say? He's a giant.
Yeah.
How would they do that? It's giant. It's Mickey Mouse.
that was me the whole time. I was like,
There's
how
a guy
are you
in
doing
there.
this?
She was the one who like went to the princess, and she's like, "Hi, Susanna." She's like, "How'd she know my name?" It's a man.
No, it was crazy. We were riding rides, and I was like, how did they get it to do that? That was so real. And I was like, well, yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Well, Susanna, thank you for telling a bit of your story. Quite a sheltered life. Any final questions before we? That you're dying to know.
One last one. When you look back at your entire childhood, it seems like for the most part, sheltering, like kind of all of us, it wasn't the worst thing. I think it, raised us to be good people. But is there one thing you look back on, like, I wish I wasn't raised this way. I wish they hadn't kept this thing from me. Something like that. Like the one, maybe just regret that your parents have.
Well, there's one my mom brought up the other day, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go do this interview on the Correct Opinions podcast. Like, what do you have that's funny? We would use our dial-up to order you guys 2 Netflix DVDs, and then we would make you guys walk the half mile to go pick them up and then bring them back. And I was like, Mom, I'm pretty sure that's just what Netflix did back then. She was like, no, we had to do Netflix was streaming. We were doing that so you guys couldn't just get on whatever you wanted to. So I'm a little bit like dumbfounded that I just found out this week. Netflix was not always a mail service, and it was for my entire life. So that hurt.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're like,
Yeah, we would have to
when
walk a
Netflix started
mile.
as just DVDs. She's like, yeah, that was a long 12 years. Until they figured that out. Like, what? No.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then the last one I was really trying to find pictures of, but we just got back to town, so I never did. My mom used to make our swimsuits. So like you've seen like sheltered girls that like wear the tankinis.
Tankinis, come on.
My mom sewed us our swimsuits, and she took a what is it, like an ice skating thing,
Leotard?
made the tank top to the right, but it had a knee-length skirt on it. And so when you were in the water, it looked like you were wearing a knee-length dress. And so we would go vacation in Cayucas where you have to wear a wetsuit, and we would have to like ball our skirt up by our stomach to go boogie boarding.
Oh my God.
And so in all our beach pictures,
They're like, why do those girls have
We have
tumors
that.
all over their hips?
That's a conservative
I wish
mermaid.
we could have
What
just-
is that?
They're wrapped in
I
extension
would have
cord.
preferred a tankini.
Tankini
Honestly,
with a skirt attached.
We talked to someone who had to wear a jean skirt to swim.
That's a good staple
that-
right there.
That's very dangerous.
That's what I said.
There is.
It's not as dangerous as
That will bury you.
That's amazing.
So,
well,
that's
drowning for the Lord.
drowning for the Lord. Susanna,
Right.
thank you, Susanna. Very great interview.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
And we'll see
Appreciate
what
it.
the recties think of if you have what it takes, if you're the most sheltered person in the world. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
New segment?
Okay, new segment alert. New segment alert.
How's
White
the-
people need to stop.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's the jingle go?
White people da-na-na, need to stop. Da-na-na. I think it's kind of dark like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. That's great. Yeah, this is...
I saw this too. You brought this to the podcast, but even I came across it.
Yeah, maybe we've all seen it.
I'm excited.
Get to YouTube. You're going to want to watch this.
Oh, yeah. POV, you release your deepest limiting beliefs into a volcano with Soul Family on the full moon. That one guy.
How many hacky sacks weren't being hackied at this time?
I have a couple friends who are involved in this kind of stuff, and I love to follow along and just see what they're up to. And I have a theory that so both friends I know, I think it's a very female, popular type of way of living. Full moon, your body, your spirit, your soul, howl at the volcanoes.
Blood, eggs, menstruation.
Yes. I am convinced that every guy wrapped up in this is down so bad. And just doing whatever he can. He'll believe anything. He'll put blood on whatever he needs to. He'll do it. He'll eat it, whatever, just to be with these women. I'm convinced. That guy is howling, just like, please sleep with me. One of you. Tinder doesn't work. Bumble doesn't work. Oh,
I'm screaming at this volcano.
I'll do whatever.
Closest I've been to heat. Warmth.
Oh, I'll play the harp. Whatever you need. I'll do the weird thing with the drums and the glasses. I'll put them in a circle. If you throw your thing in a circle, I'll do it.
The earthy people I'll never understand. Just get a job. That's just, I guess they're trying to connect with Earth, whatever, but the barefoot, they smell so bad. You see a lot of these people, they're like, guys, I don't use soap and shampoo anymore because there's parabens in it, it's bad. And trust me, I don't smell. I don't.
Yeah, people who smell good don't have to say, trust me, exactly. I don't smell.
And there's just no way they smell okay. Yeah. You smell like meat. All you eat is meat. You don't wash. You smell like meat. You shouldn't smell like meat. We figured out how to not smell like meat.
Yes, our caveman ancestors would be very mad at us for not using deodorant. Like, we don't have to live this way anymore, dude.
Speaking of this type of people, we're going to New York, so I was trying to set up a podcast studio from when we podcast in New York City with some fun guests. Stay tuned. And one of these emails, they had you reach out to an email. I she got an email back from a woman whose profile picture is she has a mohawk and a buzz cut and feathers around her necklace. So I'm immediately okay. Oh. Well, and then the sign off is she, her, speak freely instead of best regards. It's speak freely.
Speak freely.
She,
it's
her name, and I was
salutation.
I'm gonna find another studio because this studio probably doesn't have electricity.
Yeah, and who knows what they're up to.
I do. I can't. I get if your name's Taylor or Alex. I like the pronouns because I'm genuinely. I don't know.
That's helpful.
If your name's Susanna, isn't that a pronoun? Basically,
you've already told me. Robert, I know.
I pretty much know, and because I don't know if anyone is there a Robert who identifies as a woman. I feel like you'd maybe throw an A at the end.
Roberta's easy.
Yeah,
you don't continue to be Robert and be a woman.
I've never seen that. Yeah, you kind of want to flare it up a little. I don't know.
I haven't even read this yet, but I went to look at some of these people I know who are wrapped up in this stuff. Mm-hmm. Can I read you something on the Instagram story right now? So first name is Flower on Instagram, which that might be something you need pronouns for. Well, there's 4 of them actually. She/her/they/them. And then in the description of what they do, it says creatrix, healer, nomad. I don't know what creatrix is.
I didn't know you could have that many. I guess that's cool.
What
she,
is
her, they, them?
How much you get paid to be a
nomad? Is always nomad is You kind of know where we're going.
Yeah, up until 5 years ago, people didn't brag about being a nomad. That was called a homeless. And you would try to find crack.
Migrating for winter, yeah.
But she has a post, just a little shout out. We got something coming up May 2nd, 2024, if you want to join. Nurture the divine within. Embrace healing through self-massage.
Self-massage?
I don't know, dude. Join us at the Goddess Temple for an afternoon of self-love and release. Dude, what is this? Self-massage is a beautiful and empowering practice that offers numerous benefits for both the body and the soul. Just those two. So, suggested exchange is spelled wrong. Nomad. Is $5 and $20.
For $20, I can go get a self-massage?
Yeah. I don't know who you pay. You have to pay yourself. Who you're
yourself.
exchanging with. I don't know. Yeah.
So you owe yourself $20.
If it's a self-massage.
To love yourself well.
Why am I paying for this? Yeah, it's an interesting way of living, but hey, I've never tried it. I need to get in, book a session with Flower.
The Wall Street Journal just put out an article saying no showers, no sleep. Van life isn't as cool as Instagram makes it seem. I think van life might be dying.
Van life is dying, huh? Yeah. You know, van life, I do have a bone to pick with van life. Because van life, it does feel like, in a way, people are like, here, let me teach you how. I figured out a way to not contribute to society in any capacity. it's kind of like, well, we should all like help and have jobs of varying degrees to serve other. It's a big engine economy. You know, it's like people are like, no. If you park enough places, they can't arrest you. And you're like, what's the point of this? Just work some and then surf later. That's right. So yeah, it's coming to an end, huh?
Van
I'm sure
life,
they have to enough people are doing it. They're like Walmart parking lots, or they're like probably putting up barricades or something. We can't house you.
And for every one successful van life YouTuber, there's 100 people who are not successful, and their vans are not nice, and they are not nice, and it's just a brutal scenario for the local Walmarts. They're like, get these people out of here.
Okay, let's wrap up with some fan videos. Derek, who do we got? Again, email us, correct@TreyKennedy.com. Want to hear from the Recties. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, Correct Opinions crew? It's your boy Cody from C of O. Trey Kennedy, represent. I have a couple questions I want to ask. But first, a few updates. So, Trey, when I saw you in Springfield, I asked you to make a video for Dr. Mack, the Assistant Dean of SFO. He was over the moon excited to see it, and it was just so kind of you to do. That was really awesome. And turned out that he was at the show in Springfield. I was waiting out in the lobby for Jake Triple T, and he passed on by, and I was like, yo, I just talked to Trey about you. So that was pretty awesome. And a lot of C of O people were there too, so that's also pretty fun. My other update is I want to start some skit comedy too. And it kind of goes into my first question. So as somebody who's thrived making skit comedy videos, how would you suggest starting? What are some tips you can give in the process? And then my other question is, how do you have that healthy work-life balance? How are you there? Like, how do you balance being there for Katie, being there for Thomas, and also being there for your 12 million plus followers on your various platforms? Interested to hear the responses.
Me up, bro.
Also, if you ever find yourselves in Branson or maybe at the Keeter Center, hit me up. Shoot me a DM. Give me a call on Instagram. I'd love to go have lunch with you guys sometime. And also, Jake, you and I need to go for a run. Go starting a mile a day. And of course, Jake, the lunch offer is also open to your lovely wife, Rachel, and Brad and Timon at Ghost Runners. Love you guys. You all are amazing. Do less, God bless.
I mean, that guy, he hit every point you could possibly make from a super fan.
He hit it all.
Slogans, the podcast, your podcast, wives.
Producers, wives, and, I mean, right at noon. And that was well done.
Right at, where was he at Buckingham Palace? Was that in that school in Branson?
It must be C of O. Yeah,
beautiful. No idea. I guess so there's this cool school in Branson, Missouri that there's no tuition. They just put you to work.
Just work you like dogs for 4 years.
So no wonder it looks immaculate. There's a fifth year senior who's doing yard work so he can get out of there.
He switched his major, so he's got to do more landscaping now.
This is This guy's, I've met him at a couple shows. I roasted him.
Yes, you did.
Did some crowd work with him.
Kansas City. Yeah.
It's always fun when a guy you roast meets you after me. He's like, thank you so much. Like, this is a weird job, but thank you, dude. How do I balance it? I don't know. I have a wife who won't let me go do fun things like go to the lake to be present. So that's helpful. You get a wife that puts her foot down, makes you be around. Like, come on. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I hope I'm balancing it well. We unfortunately, the only bad part of what I do is just the travel. It's
just being gone.
So we try to minimize it. A few cities at a time, every other weekend. She comes when she can. But
I think for the most part, for several years now, we've kind of operated mainly from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
For the most part, which is nice. Like,
pretty much. And I even give myself a little more leeway, especially once I have a kid, of like, embrace it. Sometimes you work for yourself and you're like, I gotta put in the hours because, oh my God, I gotta do it. And then you hopefully get to a point, you work hard for years to reach the point where, I can spend a few hours on a Wednesday afternoon with my child.
I can have a little Java Monster. It's the weekend.
It's Monday afternoon. What else did he say? He said, I'm glad, thanks. I was happy to make your professor a video, and he wants to do his own skits maybe.
Yes. He's doing them around that bell tower.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Social media is weird, you never know what works and what doesn't. But the only thing I've ever told people is do stuff that is fun, because the real quick will get old. If you're like, I gotta make and then you just have to put out 1,000 videos.
Yeah, and it's probably not going to go well at first. So
right.
Hopefully you enjoy it, because the views will not be there initially. So you need to do something that you're enjoying.
Well, thank you, dude. Thanks for coming to the shows and saying what's up. Hard work, you represent.
Yeah.
One more video.
Branson. Oh, also
hey,
got the
Trey,
merch.
Jake, Katie, Derek. My name is Mandy. I live in Bellevue, Nebraska. Big fan of the podcast. I've been listening to it since the beginning. My daughter, in fact, is the one who first introduced me to Trey Kennedy. She's 20 right now, but I think she was maybe only 12 or 13. And she's like, hey, Mom, there's this guy that I think that you would think is really funny. And the rest is history. But so yes, I'm definitely one of the mom fans. Have been for years. And why aren't you coming to Omaha? Just kidding. No, I know you were. Last night, because my husband and I went. It's my birthday today. We went last night to celebrate. Loved the show. It was at the Steel House in Omaha, which I had never been to. The Steel House. It was a nice,
it's a
nice location. It was cool. I am a vocal music teacher, and I teach middle school. I actually have a student named Maddox right now, which is interesting. And I'm also in the Army National Guard Band. I play piano and clarinet. And so I have a question about your performance, because I've done a lot of performances with my students in my choir, and also with my National Guard Band. And
I wish you'd provide more.
I'm just curious about your equipment, like the piano, like I'm assuming all of the digital stuff was yours. The lights, I'm interested in like the lights. I was wondering if that was the Steel House. Was like your guys' up.
We have another minute.
That's it. We gotta hear it all.
Oh, we have to.
Love the piano guy. Since I play piano, I loved what he did. That was cool.
Oh, thank you. Shout out, Alan.
And then the other kind of funny question. So my husband loved the show too. He's a fan. He doesn't listen to the podcast, but he loves the videos. He's always watching your videos online.
Same Jerry, he was raised in Iowa.
Afterwards, he's like, does Jake really not have a degree? Like, that would just be horrible if you paid to go to college for 4 years and then you didn't get a degree. So that, I guess, was what stuck out to him after the show. So anyway,
that young man should go finish that diploma.
Love the podcast. Love what you do. Keep on doing what you do.
Thank you.
Okay.
And thanks for coming to Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha's the best. Thank you very much for the video. I don't know. She wanted to know how the piano works
and the lights.
Let's start with the piano. 88 keys.
Ivory, ebony.
Yeah, and you just it's math, really. There's a scale,
chords.
The fingers play it. Or I've even seen guy on the internet. The guy with he has no feet or hands. He plays with his tongue. So
yes,
you can really do whatever you want with it. But Alan plays with his fingers.
Alan's a fingers pianist.
Mm-hmm. He's not a tonguist. And he plays it well. And then the lights. Where to begin? Halogen.
Luminescence. That's a big word.
Edison.
Yeah, he's involved.
He stole. A lot of people say he might have stolen that from Tesla.
Oh,
or
Nikola,
someone else.
Huh? Really?
Ben Franklin in there. He did some stuff.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah.
No, I mean,
the keyboard's a rental and the lights are permanently at the venue.
Yeah, the lighting is always, the venue has them. They know what they're doing. They're running a show. We have guys who run the lighting cues. I was
a big fan of Omaha's lighting. So
yeah, Omaha, it's a brand new video. It's very nice. So they have the keyboard. They're locked in. We do the sound check, get it all dialed. We have a great tour manager and team of people that make it sound and look good.
That's fun. I was kind of thrown off by your question to me at first because that's the only time I've ever done that joke involving my degree before. So Omaha, you got.
Okay, I didn't want to sound rude and be like, I've seen Jake said 50 times. I don't know what she's talking about. So it was a one-off.
Yeah, I did a new material that night, and I was talking about my weird degree. And so it's not as funny. That's why I didn't say this on stage. But no, I didn't get a degree because I didn't go to chapel enough times for like 6 or 7 years. And then one day it just showed up at my parents' house. So I do technically have a degree, but at the same time, my life would be no different whether I had it or not. So tell your husband not to feel bad for me. No one's ever asked for it.
I don't know if you could faintly hear this. We had a tornado siren in the middle of this. And it just, I like being from, it's so good being from Oklahoma. You're like, hey, tornado sirens going off. I don't care. What's it going to do? Hit us?
I noticed it like 15 minutes ago. And I was like, well, normally it's on Wednesdays. Oh, that must be a real tornado. And then I checked the radar and I was like, it'll pass in a bit.
20 miles that way.
Yeah.
Katie's not from a tornado place. So she really, if you're from not a tornado place, that's what people ask. You're from Oklahoma.
Left to go get in the basement.
How do you deal with tornadoes? She's texting me right now. Did you hear that? Is the siren? What does that mean? I'm like, it's fine.
It's fine.
You're good. There's a basement. Go in the basement. That's what they always tell you to do. Is that really going to save you? I don't know.
Yeah, they also say go to the bathroom because you're about to
yourself. Last thing you want is to be in a whirlwind with your own feces hitting you in the face. Just relieve the body.
Yeah, take your pants off and just get somewhere.
Go out in a good way.
It helps them to identify the body too. So
yeah, I grew up in a town where like you'd go hide at public places where there's like underground, and they'd make the kids wear helmets. It's like some kids grew up were like, don't make me make a helmet riding my bike. It's lame. You'd be like in the basement with other kids. They're not wearing a helmet. Stop.
They're wearing a helmet in the butt. Like,
if we get crushed by debris, I don't want to have a helmet on. It's dorky.
Well, yeah. If I get picked up, thrown around by a tornado, I want a hammer to kill me.
Could you imagine if I'm in an F5 and I see Braxton
and he looks at me,
he's laughing at me in the cyclone because I have a helmet on?
Social suicide.
I'll never live that down.
Gosh.
Thank you guys. Love you guys. Again, keep track of the sheltered kids. We're going to vote soon. Thanks for everyone for participating in that, and have a great week. We're going to go take cover now.
Yep.
Peace.
Correct opinion.